I would like us to look on the screen and see if we can, you can see my whiteboard. Please indicate if you can see my whiteboard. Say yes on the chat box if you can. Okay, okay, mashallah, good. Now, the next thing I would like you to do is, you will see, because it's a whiteboard, we're supposed to be writing on it, and we are going to use it to be answering some of our questions. And so kindly check on the top of your screen, you will see view options. View options. Can you see that too? Can you see view options at the top of your screen? Or you click on that and then you click on annotation. Or if you haven't, you are using a phone, most probably you will see a pencil or a pen. If you click on the whiteboard, on the white thing you see, you will see a pen popping up, like something like a pen or a pencil. You click it and then you will then see the same annotation options for you to use. I hope all have it now. Okay. Okay, if you are all set with that, can you please click on text? If you can see text, particularly if you are using a laptop, you should see text, or if you are using an iPad, you can see text. So click on the option to use the text, and then you click on the whiteboard and you write your name. Kindly just click on it and write your name for me. Write your name on the whiteboard, of course. Just your first name. For instance, I want to do same here. I'm typing my name, S.A.I.D. Mukhtar. Okay. So you can also type same. And you can also click on Alt-Shift. Alt-Shift, if you have Arabic text, then you will also be able to type your name in Arabic. And nobody is able to do that? Okay. Now, let me repeat what I said for some of you who have just joined. What you can see on your screen now is the whiteboard. And I would like us to try using the whiteboard to create more interaction. And so on the whiteboard, at the top of your screen, most probably if you are using a laptop, you will see an option that says view options. When you see that view option, you click it, you will have annotation. Click on the annotation, and then when you click on the annotation, you have options, a lot of tabs to use. So that is the step. So when you do that, then you will have the option to select text, or you will see a pencil if you are using a phone. If you are using a phone, you will see a pencil, something like a pencil or a pen. Just click, use your finger. If you have using a touch screen, use your finger and tap on the whiteboard that I have just shown, my whiteboard, which you can see on your phone or your laptop. If you touch on it, it will give you the option to click a pencil or a pen that you will see pop up somewhere below. And then that will give you the option to use. You can't get the annotation. Are you using a laptop? Are you using a laptop? Okay. Re-click and go back again. Yes. Okay, very good. So Usman is there now. No. Okay. Okay, if you are using okay, Kulthum, if you are using a laptop, just very good. Okay, Usman Yahya is up. Okay, Usman, very good. So you are so for those who are using the laptops, just click on the option, on the view option, you will see. Okay, very good. For some of you who are using the phone or iPad, most probably you will see a pen or a pencil. Okay, very good. Okay, now that Kulthum has seen it, I'm sure everybody should be able to by now. Good. Okay, okay, please. Okay, it's okay. We'll stop designing the page for us. Now we are going to use that a lot. And so what I had wanted you to do all is to write your name. Just write your name by using the text. Use the text. Use the text to write your name, please. Use the text. Select the text option like this one, which I have selected. Use text. Yes, very good, Nora. Use text, select text out of the options given you, the options on your bar. You will have drawing or draw, stamp, spotlight, erase, format, and so on. So take your, very good. Okay, very good. I'm still waiting for Kulthum to do that, and I'm sure everybody should be able to. So just select text if you have it. Yes, I'm still waiting. You type your name and I should see it. Yahya, have you? Okay, Mariam, very good, mashallah, very good. Because that will be your pen, that will be your landmark. And anytime I would like you to type something, you should be able to, mashallah, Ahmad. Okay. So that will make it easy for us to do more participation. Usman, yes, you are using draw. You are using draw. Just take your mouse and select text instead of the draw. Use text instead of draw. Select text on your menu bar. I can only see Abdullah, mashallah, Abdullah, jazakumullah khair. Very good, very good. Okay, so Usman, I want you to use, Usman, you are using the draw option. I want you to use the text. That will be easier. Usman, can you have the option to use the text? Do you have the option to use the text? If you have written your name, you just allow it so that you won't distort the class, please. I'm still waiting for, okay. Abu Dawood, are you using a phone or? Okay. Usman Yahya, are you using a phone or a laptop, please? Okay, Abu Dawood, sometimes the phone don't give you more options, actually. They don't give you more options, so probably the options you might be having is to use your draw to write or type what you are going to be asked to type. Oh, okay. Okay, Osman, that I'm sure that is why you can't I'm not sure, but if you use if you're using a laptop or an iPad, most probably you will have the option to use to text, sorry. And mostly we will use these options. Okay, if you can see the text, what you do is, if you can see the text option, just click on it. Click on the text option, and then your mouse will change. The mouse will change. When it changes, you click on the whiteboard and type anything. You realize that you will have a box like this. So when I do that, when I select text and I do that, I will have this, dotted box in which I will be able to type anything, right? Like that. And I can always click on Alt Shift to type in Arabic.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Yes, brother.
I'm just joining. I don't know the exercise.
Okay, who am I talking to?
Abdullahi Bai.
Okay, what we are doing is using the whiteboard because we are going to use it for exercises. We're going to use it for some of our exercises and practices in class. And so the whiteboard will allow you to do some typings. And so what we suggested is that if you have your laptop, are you using a laptop, please, or a phone?
I'm using a laptop.
Okay, if you look at the top of your screen, you will see something like view options.
View
option. Okay. Yeah, at the top. Option. Yes.
View. Mine is just showing view.
Okay, good. Okay, just click on the view.
Okay.
You have annotation in there, right?
You just show participants and then show chat. That's all.
No annotation.
No.
Okay, you don't have view.
My view just show chat. That's all. Then show participant. That's what the view is.
No. Okay. Do you see at the top of your screen? What do you see at the top of your screen?
Okay, I've seen view options. That's all.
Yes. View options. Click on that one. Click on it.
Okay.
And when you click on it, what comes there?
Fit to window, then percentages and request remote, full screen, annotate, site.
Yes, annotate. Yes, annotate.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. So when you click, so when you click on annotate, you'll have some tabs, some options in there.
Yes.
Select text. So click on the text. Text will change the shape of your mouse. That will allow you to do some texting.
I think I've seen it.
Yeah, okay, so now kindly type your name on the screen now for me to see that you are surely there. And for Usman and Abu Dawood, you might not be, maybe if you are using a phone, you might not get that option of doing typing, but you can get the option of drawing. So you can use your finger or your fingers to do the writing. So you just write your name, but write it nicely, slow, yes. Try and write your name. Click on the pencil so that you will not be showing the arrows, rather the pencil. Something like a pencil that will allow you to write your name. Yes, that one. That one you can use it to do a little bit of writing. Okay, mashallah. Okay. Mr. Abdullahi, are you okay? Are you able to, have you seen? Yes, yes, very good. Okay, Jazakumullah khair. So this, we will use a lot of this. Sometimes when I ask a question, I would open up the I will open up the whiteboard, and then I will allow you to do the writing. And as you are typing, I will know who is typing what. And anytime you type, by the way, your name appears to me that you are the one typing. So anytime you are typing, if you type anything that is not not so good, I can still see your mouse with your name on it. So that is just for a beginning. And inshallah, with this, at least we have added one more thing to use during our lessons. Okay. Well, we still will be here on the very good, Mr. Abdullah. Jazakallah khair. MashaAllah. Okay, so we are good to go now. Okay, so for us to do a quick practice and a quick reminder, I'm going to ask you some quick questions in the next 3-5 minutes. When you are asked in Arabic, what is the structure of the language, what would you say? Type it or write it if you can. What is the three different levels or stratus of the structure of Arabic language that we have learned? What are the 3 levels of the structure? Level 1, level 2, and level 3. What are they? You can type it there, please. Or write it in the case, or some of you who are using the phone will have some challenges, but it's going to be, and also, of course, you can type it on the text box if you also are having challenge with the whiteboard. You can still text it, write it on your text box. But I would like us to use the whiteboard for a start. So what is the structure of the language, Arabic? What we have learned so far. We said it has how many levels and what are they? The word, the fragment, and the sentences. Absolutely correct. Thank you very much, Mariam. Very good. How many kinds of words do we have? 3 levels. Okay, yes, 3 levels. Kalima, murakkaba naqisa, and jumla. That is what Abdullah is. Very good, yes. Now, what are the kinds of words? Kalimat. Kam anwa al-kalima wa ma hiya? What are the kinds of words and what are they? You have options now, either to type it on the screen, on the whiteboard, just to use that skill, which is good, or you type it on inside the chat box. It's all the same. Yes, ism fi'l harf, correct, mashallah. Very good. So what do we say? And very good, harf fi'l and ism, mashallah, ism fi'l harf. Good. Let's go by that format, so it will be easy for us to or you can even say IFH. I would understand IFH, ism fi'l harf, mashallah. Good. What do we say an ism is in your own words? What's an ism? What's an ism? What is an ism? Yes, is that the only one? Name of a person? Mm-hmm. Name of a person? Mm-hmm. Place? Absolutely. Idea? Correct? Yes. Mm-hmm. Abu Dawud says ism is the name of a person, place, thing, idea, adjective, adverb, and more. MashaAllah. Very good. What is a fail? What is a fail? Well done. What is a fail? Good participation. Adverb and more. Adjective also, Mr. Abdullah. Yes. Mr. Abdullah, yes. Adjective is also an ism. Perfect. So what is a fail? What do we say a fail is? What is a fail? Very good participation. Well done. What is a fail? Fail place. I hope you are not going to say a verb. I said we should desist from saying a verb. Fail is more than a verb. Fail is a word that has an action and a doer, absolutely stuck in time. Very good. That's a good definition. That's a good definition. I hope you will keep that definition for your students, inshallah. Very good one there. MashaAllah. A fail is more than a verb, Mariam. A fail is more than a verb. We don't say a fail is a verb. We say a fail is a fail, actually. But you can explain it by saying is a word that has meaning in it, but stuck in time. Present, future, and yes, nahi and amr. I like that one. Okay. I like that one. Okay, past, future, nahi and amr. Nahi is forbidden and amr is command. Very good. What is a harf, finally? What is a harf? What is a harf? How do we define a harf? These things are very important to make you really grounded in this course. What is a harf? And don't feel difficult in sharing. You might be thinking, I know it. Huh? You might be thinking, oh, I know it. And if you ask me alone, I will be able to say it. But sharing it really makes it sit down better with you. So share it with us, even with abbreviations that we have used, we can communicate. What is a harf? What is a harf? How do we say? So ism is the name of a person, a place, a thing, an adjective, an adverb, and more. Fail is an action with a doer stuck in time. And harf is a word that doesn't make complete sense on its own. Very good. A harf is a word that has no meaning on its own unless accompanied. Yes, accompanied by either an ism or a fail. A word that can't stand on its own without ism. I like that one. Without ism or fail. I like that definition because this is very comprehensive and concise, which means the harf will definitely be accompanied. So the company here will always be with either an ism or a fail, because if it accompanies another harf, it won't work because both the harfs do not have meaning. But if it accompanies a fail or an ism, for instance, when you ask me, Aina al-Ustaz, then I said, Fil Fasl. So Fil Fasl makes sense. Okay? Fil Fasl makes sense. But when you ask me, Bimada taktub, with what are you writing? Or Bima, when I want to ask you, with what are you writing? For instance, if you are writing with a pen, and I want to ask you, with what are you writing? And you want to tell me I'm writing with a pen. So I will ask you, Bima, Bimada, with what? That still doesn't make sense. Even though the B is attached to the ma, both of them don't make sense. But when I say taktubu, so it makes sense because I have then accompanied it with an ism. So in the first one, when I say fil fasl, it makes sense because fasl is attached to fi. In this case, when I say bima, it still doesn't make sense. But when I say taktubu, it makes sense because it's attached to an fa'il. So these are some of the things that we need to know, mashallah. Jazakumullah khair. A word makes no sense on its own except ism or fi'l accompanies it. Yes, very good. Thank you very much. Now, that is the word. When we come back, let's go down to the second strata, and that is the fragment strata. The fragment strata, we have how many of the fragments in Arabic? How many of the fragments in Arabic? What did we say? Quickly, how many are the fragments and what are they? Khamsa. Okay, I like the Khamsa. What are they? What are the 5? Yes, thank you. Thank you, Asma. The class has missed you, so you are just in. Good. Yes. Okay, so what are they? What are the 5 fragments that we have learned? Very important. And also, always, as we shared, we said those 5 are the midfielders, right? We say they are the midfielders. And so when you have the kalima at the top, then you have the 3 different kalimat here, ism, fi'il, and harf. Then you will have the 5 midfielders. So I want you to tell me, what are they, right? These are the 5 midfielders. Yes, إضافة, موصوف, صفة, حرف جر, and مجرور, حرف نفس, and its victim, اسم الإشارة ومشار إليه. MashaAllah, this you deserve an applause. Abu Abdullah, Asma says, إضافة, what is إضافة and what? I can't see that. Mans and Sifa. Sifa, you means, okay, harf jar, and then harf nasb and ism ishara and mushar ilay. It's actually supposed to be ism ishara, mushar ilay, and mawsuf and sifa. Sifa or mawsuf. We say mawsuf and sifa. It's supposed to be mawsuf sifa alfa. Yes, it should be mawsuf sifa, because when you say sifa mawsuf, you are actually looking at it in the English way. Because in Arabic, you said mawsuf before you mentioned the sifa. So jar majrur, اسم الإشارة والمشار, أسماء الإشارة المشار إليه, إضافة, إن وأخواتها, not إن وأخواتها, but إن وأخواتها واسمها or وأسمائها. Okay, أسماء is إضافة, موصوف, صفة. It's صفة, not صفة. It's صفة, okay, بالفاء. Very good. MashaAllah. Okay, so these are the 5 midfielders, right? So now that we have seen those 5 midfielders, let's look at the strikers. What the last level, sentences, jumla. How many did we say are there? Jumla. How many are they and what are they? How many are they and what are they? So what we have just done is to say كلمة مركبات ناقصة جملة. Okay, so under the kalima we had ism, we had fi'l, and we had harf. And then under the murakkabat naqisa, we had idafa, or mudaf, mudaf ilayhi, mudafun, or mudafun ilayhi. And then we had mawsuf, wasifa. And then we have inna. Okay, let's say inna. Okay, inna wa akhwatuha. Wa akhwatuha wa asma'iha. Okay, let's see that. Wa asma'iha. And then jarun wa majrur. And then ism al-ishara. إشارة والمشار إليه. Okay, so this is the second level. This is the level of murakkabat, and then the last level is what? Let me go back to my text messages. We have jumla ismiya fi'liya, correct? Jumla ismiya fi'liya. MashaAllah, Asma. Jazakallah khair. Okay, now jumla ismiya fi'liya. That is actually where we are now, right? So yesterday we talked about, sorry, before that you talked about Jumla Ismiya on Monday. And yesterday we spoke about Jumla Fi'liya. But let's ask, so Jumla Ismiya and Fi'liya, or Fi'liya. Okay. Now, let me ask this question before we go to today's lesson. Jumla ismiya. When I say jumla ismiya, what we say that is a nominal sentence. Okay. How did we define it? Even though a lot of in this course is not about definition and memorizing of definition, but how to really practicalize it. But what we say when we say jumla ismiya, how did we say what is the definition? Jumla ismiya. It's a very simple, straightforward definition. Jumla ismiya. What is jumla ismiya? It's a very simple definition. What is jumla ismiya? A sentence that begins with a. I was expecting Kulsum to give us the definitions. So maybe we'll be specializing you for this. A sentence that begins with an ism. That's how straightforward that is. Very good. A sentence that begins with an ism, it's a jumla that starts with an ism and it has mubtada al khabar. That is very, very comprehensive, Asma. Jazakillah khair. Thank you so much. And so, yes, that is the jumla ismiya. Anytime you see jumla ismiya, it means the jumla or the sentence makes sense. It's more than two words, right? But at the same time, it makes sense, and it starts with an ism. And when you look into that sentence or that jumla, you realize you have a mubtada and you have a khabar. Even if you can see one word, but sometimes the mubtada can be hidden or something, but definitely there is a mubtada and there is a khabar. And we said mubtada is the subject and khabar is the predicate. But if you don't see the khabar, you will see something. What is that? If you don't see the khabar, you see what? So we have mubtada and we have khabar. Or mubtada, khabar, or. So let me just do this. So jumla ismiya. So jumla ismiya starts with ism and consists and okay, let me just do that, and consists of, okay, so jumla ismiya starts with ism and consists of mubtada, khabar, or muta'alliqun bi khabar, what we call MBK. muta'alliqun bi khabar. muta'alliqun bi khabarin. Okay. MBK. Yes, this is what we call MBK. Don't forget that. Yes. Yes. Okay. Good. So these are what we have learned previously. And then yesterday we discussed fi'liya. What did we say jumla fi'liya is and what does it contain? Who can tell me? So jumla fi'liya consists of what? Who can tell me? What are the components of jumla fi'liya? What are the components of jumla fi'liya? Please participate, right? If you are not participating by texting, just put a rough sheet of paper beside you and keep on writing all these things that we are mentioning, because they really make you well grounded in the understanding. What are the components of jumla fi'liya? Jumla fi'liya comprises of, it is a jumla that starts with an ism and it has mubtada and okay, this jumla ismiya, right? Okay, fi'l, fa'il, maf'ul. Okay, consists of fi'l, fa'il, maf'ul. Thank you very much, Asma. Consists of fi'l, fa'il, fa'il and maf'ul. Yes, very good. Or if you don't have maf'ul, sometimes you have what is what? Muta'alliqun بفعل. متعلق بفعل is MBF. Yes, correct. Yes. Yes. So this is the do, this is the action, this is the doer, this is the done to. We call it done to victim, or yes, the done to, the maf'ul, or the victim. Okay. Yes. What is the MBF? The MBF can either be the MBF can only be jar majrur, for your information. The MBF can only be jarun or majrur. Don't forget this, please. The MBF can only be jar or majrur. MBK can be jar or majrur or special mudaf and the mudaf ilay. So these are the two different options here for MBK and MBF. MBF, both of them have shibh jumla. Shibh jumla means murakkaba naqisa. They make up the muta'alliqat, okay? The related words or the related phrases or state fragments. Those related fragments, when you see them, they don't stand on their own. They don't have mahal, but they are muta'alliqat, okay? They muta'alliq bi khabar or muta'alliq bi fi'l. And that's one of the things, even though we don't say it, but it means لا محل لها من الإعراب بل لها تعليق أو هي معلقة بإما الفعل أو بإما الخبر. Okay, so jar ومجرور and موصوف and special مضاف. jar ومجرور special مضاف are متعلق بخبر, but jar مجرور can be also متعلق بفعل. For instance, when I say دخلت أمي في المطبخ. دخلت أمي في المطبخ. دخلت أمي في المطبخ. My mother entered the kitchen. So it means, Raihana, you can please stop the writing because I can see you are the one. Maybe your finger is passing on the screen. You are either using a phone or an iPad. So what we are saying here is that MBK, MBF, it's very important that we know they can either be jar or majroor or special mudaf. But MBK can have both. MBF can only have jar or majroor, okay? Or jar or majroor can only be related to the fi'l. Okay. Generally, these are what we have learned so far. And then yesterday we discussed the kinds of fi'l. Kinds of fi'l. Okay. What are the kinds of fi'l that we discussed? So here we said these are the two strikers, right? Jumla ismiya and fi'liya. What are the two kinds of, or the four kinds of fi'ls that we discussed? Fi'l madi. I've given you madi. Which ones are the rest? Madi. We learned fi'l madi and what? So we learned anwa al-fi'l, kinds of fi'l. Yes, so Madi, Mudari, Amr, and Nahi. Very good. Very good. Madi, Mudari, Amr, and Nahi. So Madi is what? Past. Madi is past. And Mudari is, sorry. Okay, let me take this. Madi. Madi. past, and then mudari, present, and then amrun is command, and then nahyun is forbidden. Now, yesterday we discussed madi and we discussed mudari. One of the fundamental things we mentioned about this is that grammatically, madi we say is only one type, and mudari is, we said there are three types. Now, how do we know the types? It's by looking at the endings, okay, for madi, and by looking at the endings and the beginnings for mudari. You remember that? So we said that mudari, madi, has changes at the end, and mudari has changes in both or in all parts. So madi, so past tense, changes from its termination, okay, the end of the word, okay. Example, nasara, na, sa, ra, okay, so they are at the end. If there are two, I will say what? So no, don't also forget, let me give another point here. This we spoke yesterday, that all fi'ls, okay, let me even put it here as point number one. No fi'l without a fa'il. That's what we said. No fi'l without a fa'il, okay? And the fa'il is mostly an inside pronoun. An inside pronoun. Yes, mudari, present, amr, yes, correct. Okay, it's always an inside pronoun. And what are those pronouns? Huwa, huma, hum. You remember them, right? Huwa, huma, hum. Hiya, huma, hunna. Anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antuma, and antunna, antunna, ana, and nahnu. Right? So huwa, huma, hum. So huwa, he, huma, both of them, hum, all of them, masculine. Here, her, sorry. Here, she. Huma, both of them, feminine. Hunna, all of them, feminine. Anta, you, singular, masculine. Antuma, pair, masculine. Antum, all of you, all of you, masculine. Anti, you, singular, feminine. Antuma, both of you, feminine, pair. Okay. Antunna, all of you, feminine, plural. Ana, I, that is first person. I can be masculine or feminine. Okay. And then nahnu can be pair or plural, masculine and feminine. These are the pronouns that we have learned. And we said these pronouns are independent pronouns, but they have their attached equivalent. You remember them? What is the attached equivalent of huwa? Who, he. Remember who, he? Who, he. Sorry. Oh. Spoiled everything. Okay, now I have to come out here and do that. Okay, so we said huwa is who, he. So huwa, who, he, who or he. Huma is still huma and hima. These are the pronouns. Whom, the attached pronoun would be either whom or him. Again, but note, you don't have independence pronoun as him, okay? The independence pronoun is whom. Huwa, huma, whom. Then here, her. Then huma for feminine is still huma, huma, hima. And then whom is still whom, him, whom, him. And then hunna is still hunna. The attached pronoun is hunna and hinna. Anta is ka. Antuma, kuma. Antunna, kunna. Ana is ni or e. Ni or e. What is the difference? Ni is used on a fi'l, and e is used attached to an ism. When ni is used attached to a fi'l, it is the i'rab is maf'ul bihi. When e is attached to an ism, the i'rab is mudaf ilayhi. Okay, and then the last one is nahnu. The attached pronoun is na. Okay, so these pronouns mostly, these pronouns are always associated with our fi'ls. So when I say nasara huwa, okay, nasara huma, nasaruhum, nasarat hiya, nasaratahuma, nasarna hunna. Hey, where is my hunna? Nasaruhum, nasarat hiya, nasaratahuma, and nasarna hunna, nasarta anta, nasartuma antuma, nasartunna antunna, nasartu ana, and then nasarna nahnu. So in fi'l, what we say is that every fi'l must be associated with its pronoun. And for us to know that pronoun, what we do is to remember the attached pronouns, okay? Or the independent pronoun equivalents of that inside the fi'l. So that when I say nasara, you know nasara means he helped. Nasara, both of them helped. That's masculine. Nasaru, all of them, masculine, they helped. Nasarat, here, she helped. Nasarata, huma, both of them, feminine, pair, helped. Nasarna, all of them, feminine, plural, helped. Nasarta, you, singular masculine, helped. Nasartuma, both of you, pair masculine, helped. Nasartum, all of you, plural masculine, helped. Nasarti, you, singular feminine, helped. Nasartuma, you, pair feminine, helped. Nasartunna, all of you, feminine, plural feminine, helped. Nasartu, singular, both masculine and feminine, helped. That is I helped, right? And then nasarna, all of us, either masculine or feminine, pair or plural, helped. So those endings actually determines what the fi'l mudari of the fi'l is in terms of madi. Then we looked at fi'l mudari. The difference between mudari and madi is that mudari has certain letters, and those letters are known as the anitas, right? Hamza, Noon, Ya, and Ta. Anita or Anaitu or Atina, whatever you call it, these are the harfs that we look for at the beginning of a fi'l to know that it is mudari. If you don't see any of these harfs in front of before a fi'l, then it is not mudari. It cannot be mudari. All fi'l mudari present tense must be initiated, or the initials must be either Hamza, Noon, or Ta. That's the first thing. The second thing is also that you will see u, dhamma. So you will see u, dhamma, if there is no ani or noon at the end. But if there is other things that can be there are ani, okay, and then una, right? Ani, una, and then atun, and then atin. Sorry, it's supposed to be atun, atin. Okay. Or you can see the sukun and na, or the sukun, sukun and or you can see the nun shadda fatha. Okay, these are some of the endings that you see on fi'l mudari. So mudari can both have something at the beginning that shows you that it is mudari, and the ending will also have these endings. Either it has the dhamma, if there is no any nun or at the end. Sorry, not atun. You don't have atun in fail, right? This is fail. Rather, this is for ism. I'm talking about fails here. Una and then noon and na. Okay, like huwa, huwa. So we start from huwa, huma, hum, here, huma, hun, anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna. So like that. So we say huwa yansuru, huma yansurani, hum yansuruna. Okay, so we have huwa. So in Mubarak we say he helped. So we say huwa yansuru. Huma, yes, you can help me do that. Huma yansurani. And then hum yansuruna. And then here tansuru. Huma tansurani. That's feminine. Unna yansurna. Anta tansuru. Antuma tansurani. Antunna tansurna. Ana ansuru. Nahnu nansuru. So this is a conjugation. If you look at the beginning and the end, I'm just adding the pronouns for you to know. But in normal, in Arabic, you don't actually pronounce. You don't mention the pronouns, the independent ones. So you say yansuru, yansurani, yansuruna, tansuru, tansurani, yansurna, tansuru, tansurani, tansurna, ansuru, and nansuru. But I'm just bringing the pronouns so you know which one, which of the pronoun there is being used. Okay. Now, after learning that, what we come to learn is that, okay, fi'l mudari can also be light and lightest, okay? Light and lightest. What is fi'l mudari light and what is lightest? Light means instead of the yansuru, it will become yansura. Instead of yansurani, it becomes yansura. So the light can either be changing the dhamma to fatha or dropping the noon. That is the rule. You drop the noon, it's light. Okay? And you make the Dhamma, Fatha, it's light. Okay, and there are some harfs that can make a fi'l mudari light. And what are those? Al-huruf al-nasiba, al-huruf al-nasiba lil-mudari. What are those hurufs? They are an, sorry, an, and have to put the sukun there, so you know that it is an, not anna. Okay, an, lan, idhan, an, lan, idhan, li. Okay, okay, or likay generally. Okay, likay and hatta. All these harfs can cause fi'l mudari to be. So you say an yansura, lan yansura, izan yansuru, litansur, litansur. Having some feedback somewhere, right? Okay. So you say litansur, okay, tansur, okay, tansura, okay, tansurna, okay. But the plural feminine, the hunna and antunna, as we mentioned yesterday, do not accept change. They are always as they are. So they don't become light by dropping the noon, but any other noon will drop, okay? Anti-tansurina, sorry, it's supposed to be tansurina, not anti-tansuri. Anti-tansurina, I've forgotten that. There's a mistake here, you couldn't remind me. Anti is supposed to be tansurina, okay? Anti-tansurina, very important. And then there are also certain hurufs that we call, that are known as al-huruf al-jazima. Al-huruf al-jazima lil-mudari. The harfs that will cause fi'l mudari to be lightest, okay? So this is light, this is lightest. When we say light, it means fatha or dropping of the noon. When we say lightest, we mean sukun or dropping of the noon, okay? And the harfs that can cause fi'l mudari to be lightest are in. So note this, this is in. The first one is an, okay? In, lam, lamma, illam, lamma, sorry, wal, fal, li. Now note, the reason why I brought this three, actually these three are all one, okay? These three are all one, so 3 in 1. Okay, so it's actually li, you know, li, this is the actual harf that can cause fi'l mudari to be lightest or jazm, okay? However, we put the wal and fal because actually it occurs mostly it occurs in this format, or even sometimes thumma, thummali, thummal, okay? For instance. So that lam there is known as the lam of jazm. It makes, that's why I said summa liyaqdu, because the fi'l should have been yaqduna, so the noon dropped, okay? So that lam is known as lam harf jazm, okay? It calls the fi'l mudari to be light or lightest, okay? Now that is all we have learned so far. We'll go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll take today's discussion, and that will be fi'l al-amr, and then we do a lot of revisions again. So I will still maintain today for our fi'l, and I hope you have all learned something and have revised accordingly. Stay on, we'll come back after 4 minutes. Assalamu alaikum. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. You are welcome back. Thank you very much for holding on. So quickly today we are going to discuss, let me share my screen. We are going to discuss fi'l amr. So we are finished with fi'l madi. We are finished with fi'l mudari. We are going to fi'l amr, and these are the this is the third kind of fi'l. And as we said, fi'l amr and nahi are all future tense. Future tense in the sense that when we say fi'l future tense, we mean fi'l mustaqbal, okay? And everything that you are commanded to do, you do it in mustaqbal, in future. And everything that you are forbidden from doing is also in future, in mustaqbal. So instead of us saying fi'l mustaqbal, which of course some grammarian actually use, but we say fi'l amr and fi'l nahi, okay? And the reason why in this particular course you realize that the book can even classify them into two, either past or present, because fi'l amr and nahi are actually extracted from mudari. So mudari is the one that is modified a little bit to become amr, okay? And we share those things also as we go. So definitely I will have to do this with my screen and share with you my screen. Bear with me, this will be flowing, inshallah, because we have already done a lot of the practice, right? Okay. Okay, hopefully you can see my screen now. I hope you can see my screen. Okay, good. Fi'l amr والنهي. But have you realized what? Who can tell me fi'l amr? Is it a word, a sentence, or a fragment? And what kind of sentence is it, or what kind of word and what kind of fragment? If yes, fi'l amri. Who can tell me? Fi'l amri. How do you, when you are asked to do the i'rab, how will you do it? The relationship between these two words. Is this kalima? Is it a fragment? Is it a sentence? Fi'l amri. If it's a sentence, what kind of sentence is it? If it is a fragment, what kind of fragment is it? If it is a word, a single word, what kind of word is it? These are some of the things we do to practice our nahu, right? Okay, I'm waiting. You just need 3 seconds to do that. Fi'lul amri. Which concept can you see there? No answer. Okay. These are some of the things that can happen. Okay, so you just yes. Who is that? Khalifa. Which Khalifa is this? Which Khalifa is this? I hope it's not my own Khalifa. Okay, fragment. Yes, it's a fragment. It's a fragment, correct. What kind of fragments is alif wal lam? What's alif wal lam? Asma. There's a fragment, yes, but it is idafa. So you can see this mudaf and this mudaf ilayhi. You remember how we do the definition of mudaf ilayhi? We say anytime you see a light ism followed by a jar ism, that light ism has no alif and lam, followed by jar ism, that there is idafa, okay? So fi'l al-amr and fi'l al-nahi, okay? So it's idafa, mudafun wa mudafun ilayhi, okay? Of course, this one, if you are going to do the i'rab, you will say that this idafa, that this jar, this is the word fi'l can be خبر لمبتدا محذوف تقديره هذا فعل الأمر. Okay, so this will be a خبر for a مبتدا that has been hidden. Okay, so that is how you do the i'rab of headings or topics. Okay, command and forbidding fi'ls. Now let's go straight to business now. Command, amr, forbid or forbidding, nahi. So you command and you forbid. So they are all instructions, right? They are all instruction, but one is to do and one is asking you not to do. Okay. Now the slide tells you that there are some common observation about these two words, nahi, amr, and nahi, and we are going to go through them quickly. The first one says you cannot command or forbid in the past. So no madi. So this word exclusion is done. The madi is out when it comes to command. So you can't command in the past. Very important. You can't also command yourself. لا يمكنك أن تأمر أو تنهى في الماضي ولا يمكنك أن تأمر أو تنهى نفسك. You can't forbid or command. You can't command or forbid yourself. And you can't command or forbid someone who is not there. Al-ghaib. So ghaib cannot be commanded or forbid. Okay? You can't forbid somebody who is not in front of you. You can only forbid somebody who is in front of you, isn't it? Good. It's also easy to forbid than to command. Well, somebody will say, why? This has to do with nahu. In nahu, it's easy to forbid than to command. Okay? Or you can say that in Arabic, النهي أسهل من الأمر. النهي أسهل من الأمر. Reasons will come. Number 5, and the last one here says a grammatical command is not always really a command. Sometimes you see it looks as if it's a command, but it could be a suggestion. It could be a motivation, permission, advice, request, or imperatives or sarcasm, right? Sometimes it's actually not a nahi, okay? Sorry, it's not a command, but it can be observation or other things, okay? We'll come to see all those. So just note these 5 important points. Now let's go to the first one, forbidding, nahi. This is how it is constructed. And you know we are told that it is easier, right? And this is how easy it is, okay? What you do is you bring your la, because you are going to forbid, okay? La plus lightest present tense. You remember the word lightest means majzoom. Majzoom means having a sukoon at the end or dropping of the noon, as the case may be. So la, you add it to a lightest present tense. And that present tense will be in second person. Now note this. Second person, lightest plus la. Okay. La والفعل المضارع مجزوم ومخاطب second person. That's how simple it is for you to compose a forbidden statement. Don't forget it's present tense. That's why I say the tenses in this course are actually 2, past, present. Present, from that you can generate the amr. Example, say in Arabic, don't go. Don't go. You, singular masculine. Okay? How do you do that? You first of all bring the second person present tense. Tazhabu. So anta tazhabu. Okay? Anta tazhabu. You are going. That's the normal present tense. That's the first thing you bring. So you bring the present tense. So for us to generate a forbidding tense, an amr, you bring a present tense which you have already learned. So huwa zahaba, anta tazhabu. So tazhabu anta. Then the second point is make it lightest. How do you make this particular word lightest? Just make it sukun. Because it doesn't have a noon there for you to say I'm dropping the noon. Make it sukun. So tazhab. 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 That is the lightest form of tazhabu. Now also, don't forget, normally there are things that will cause fi'l mudara to become lightest, okay? And one of them is this la. So when you put the la there, it becomes tazhab. So of course, another one is the house of lightest that we spoke about, okay? Huh? In lam lamma wal falli, okay? La tazhab, you just add put la in front of it, it becomes la tazhab, finish. You have formed this sentence, don't go. And it has become fi'il an-nahi. This la is known as la an-nahiya. La an-nahiya, the la that is used to forbid. Normally what it does is it calls the fi'il mudara in front of it become jazm, majzoom, okay? That's lightest, okay? And then it gives you that forbidding tone or forbidden expression, okay? So that's the easy way of forming a fi'il an-nahi or fi'il an-nahi, where you bring your la, you bring your fi'il mudara, which is lightest, and then it has to be in second person. Note this, second person. Why? Because you can't command a first person, yourself. You can't also command a third person, someone who is not there. So you can't command huwa, huma, hum, here, huma, hunna, out. You can't also command ana, nahnu. You can't. So the only commanding pronouns are the middle line, where you have anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antum. That's where amr and nahi concentrate. So you can't have fil amr and then the fa'il is huwa, or huma, or hum, or here, or huma, or hunna. The fa'il can also be ana or nahnu. The fa'il will always be either anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna in fil amr and fil nahi. Okay, very important. These are some of the additional examples. So this is an English expression, don't eat, you feminine. Okay, this is what I want to say. How do I do that? How do I say don't eat? First of all, I will bring the normal fi'l mudari. Anti ta'kulina. So ta'kulina. So ta'kulina, you feminine singular, you are eating. Make it lightest. Ij'alha majzuma. How do you jazm? Jazm by dropping the noon, because that's the formula. Drop the noon. So it becomes ta'kuli. Then you add your lam. So la ta'kuli, don't eat. Another sentence, don't learn. All of you, masculine, of course. Tata'allamuna is the normal fi'l. And then tata'allamu is when you make it majzoom by dropping of the noon, asfan noon. Then you put la on it to say la tata'allamu. Okay? Nahi. Don't learn. Don't write, all of you, feminine. La taktubna is the fi'l mudari. Taktubna is the fi'l mudari, normal, right? Taktubna is the lightest because you can't drop this noon because it's the noon of antunna. You remember, antunna and hunna, you can't touch their noon. That's what we say. When they gang up, when the ladies are more, the women are more than 1, 2, you don't touch their noon, okay? And then the last step is to add the la on it. So it becomes la taktubna. You see, they are able to drop the noon of plural masculine, but the noon of feminine masculine never gets dropped. That's what we learned. Note that the difference between a statement, note the difference between the statement and a command. Okay, a statement on observation can be la taktubu kutuban. You don't write books. This is a normal observation or a normal statement. But la taktub kutuban is a command. Sorry, it's a forbidding. Okay, you are forbidding the person from writing. So don't use singular masculine. Don't write books. So you are asking the person not to write books. But this one, you are just making an observation that the person does not write. Okay, so you do not write. That's the meaning of la taktubu. Now, what is the difference between the two? In this case, where you are doing, when you are doing a normal observation, the fi'l mudara is not made lightest. The fi'l mudara is normal. So when it is normal, then this la is la an-nafiya. Note, this one is called la an-nafiya, and negating la. Okay, it negates, it makes it negative only. But if the fi'l mudara is made lightest, majzoom, then this la is known as la an-nahiya. So this la an-nahiya lin-nahi, and this is la an-nafiya lin-nafi. لا النافية لا تتأثر على الفعل المضارع المرفوع، ولكن لا الناهية تتأثر على الفعل المضارع وتجعل الفعل مجزومة. Okay. كتبا. So it's the same expression, but one of them is command, is forbidding, and the other one is a normal observation. The only thing to note is normal observation, the fi'l mudara is having it's normal, as we say. So normal fail like this. But in forbidden, the fi'l mudara will become lightest. Okay. So that's what we say, lightest fi'l mudara, and the lightest is caused by this la an-nahiya. But la an-nafiya doesn't cause fi'l mudara anything. Then we come to command. This is the second aspect of the future. You are finished with forbidding. How do we command? To create a command, you start with the lightest second person. Again, lightest second person. Okay? Al-mukhatab, al-majzoom. It has to be mukhatab. What is second person? Anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna. These pronouns represent the second person pronouns. You remember our table? That table. Huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna. Those ones are third person. Anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna, second person. Ana, nahnu, first person. So what this is saying is that the first person and the third person are not involved in commanding and forbidding. It's only the second person lines. Okay. So you start by that second person, like taktubu, taktubu, for instance. Then you remove the ta of the mudari. You remove the first ta that initiates the fail, the ta of Anita. Take it off. Okay. If the word can be read, leave it alone. So when I say taktubu, then I make it taktub by making it lightest. Then I remove the ta, and then it becomes tub. Tub. Tub is difficult to pronounce. No Arabic word starts with a sukun. If it cannot be if it can be pronounced, leave it alone. Okay. Okay. For instance, if it is the word yujahidu, and then I say tujahidu, and then I make it lightest, tujahid, and then I remove the ta, it becomes jahid. Jahid is pronounceable, so I leave it like that. That is the amr. Jahid, strive, right? That is fine. But if it cannot be read like ktub, then I will add something called the helper alif. Okay? Helper alif. What does the helper alif look like? Would I put fatah on it or dhamma? There are two sounds that it can take. If the second to last letter of the huwa present tense has u, then the helper alif will have u. Otherwise, the helper alif gets kisra. What does it mean? It means if you are able to know what the haraka of the last but one letter of the fi'l mudari is. Okay? For instance, kataba yaktubu. Kataba yaktubu. So kataba is fi'l madi. This is not all we are dealing with. The mudari yaktubu. So the last but one letter is ta, and the ta is having u. If it happens this way, yaktubu, then the amr, okay, the amr, the helper alif of the amr will have dhamma. So I will say uktub, uktub. Why? Why u, not iktub? Because uktub. Okay, sorry, I didn't see a question come up there. I will share that again, inshallah. Uktub. Why? Because when I say kataba yaktubu, so tubu, the reason why I'm saying uktub is that the last but one of the fi'l mudari is dhamma. So yaktubu. So I will say uktub, that's the fi'l amr. But if the last but one is having either fatha or kasra, for instance, jalasa yajlisu, jalasa yajlisu. So the li here is kisra. In that case, the fi'l amr will take what? Kisra. So ijlis. I don't say ujlis, but ijlis. Okay. So that's the rule. Just remember this rule. If you can remember the fi'l mudara and normal fi'l mudara, and the normal fi'l mudara, the last but one letter is having dhamma, then in fi'l amr you make the alif dhamma. But if the last but one letter is having the haraka of fatha or kesra, then you make the helper alif kesra. That's why he said the command is quite tricky. You know, we don't say it's difficult, but quite tricky than the forbidden. Forbidden, you just put la and make the fi'l mudara jazma, finish. Okay, but here you have a helper alif, and you have to drop a certain ta at the beginning. Okay, but that is that as a rule, and this is the process. These are the examples. For instance, go. How do you say go? You start with the normal fi'l mudara. Okay, tazhabu. Okay, tazhabu. Make it lightest. Tazhab. Remove the ta. Dhhab. Add helper alif. Dhhab. You don't know if this alif will take fatah, kesra, or dhamma. You determine the haraka of the tazhabu. So in this case, tazhabu. This one is having fatah. So therefore, it will be kesra. Izhab. Another one. All of you help. That's what I want to say. All of you help. Feminine. Okay. All of you help. How do I say that? Bring the normal fi'l mudara. Tansurna. You help. You help. You, all of you feminine, you help. Tansurna. You make it lightest by maintaining it. You remember, this noon cannot be touched. It is the noon for the feminine, right? If there are many, you don't touch them, right? Remove the ta. The ta will be allowed to go off. So it becomes surna, surna. And then add a helper alif because you can't pronounce surna. In Arabic, you don't start with a sukun. So you say, you don't know if you should say unsurna or insurna. But then you go back to your ruling. You know, here, the last but one letter is u. For your information, this is not the last but one letter. This one is an addition because it's plural feminine. But this is the last but one letter. It is having u. So you say unsur, unsurna. Okay. The last one here says, learn, you feminine, all of you. So you bring the normal fi'l mudara, tata'allamina, sorry, you feminine singular. Tata'allamina anti, anti tata'allamina. So you bring tata'allamina, you make it lightest, tata'allami by dropping of the, remove the ta from the beginning, ta'allami, it becomes ta'allami. This one is pronounceable, so you leave it like that. That is the command. If it is pronounceable, leave it like that after dropping the ta. That's what it says. Good. These are some of the examples that we would look at as an exercise, but not now. Let me quickly run on some of these things and then we come back and do the exercise. Or let me see. Okay. Okay, let's quickly do this exercise and then we take a short break and come back. Yes, this question about la, Kulsum asked, I said there are two kinds of la, okay? This is where I did that explanation, this la, okay? This is la, the first la here is known as la an-nafiya. Sorry, yes, la an-nafiya, tanfi. That means it makes it negative, it negates, okay? How do I identify the la an-nafiya? It does not affect the fi'l mudari. It does not affect the fi'l mudari. But la an-nahiya, the la that prohibits or forbids, it makes the fi'l mudari majzoom. That means it makes it lightest. So this one is for forbidden and this one is for negation. That's what I said there. Okay, quickly. These words, can you tell me if the words are commandings or forbiddings or observations? So that is C, F, or O. Of course, you know what command is. Command, okay, let's start with forbidden. Forbidden will always have a la. That's what we say. La, don't do this. La, 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 la. Anytime you hear la, it's about don't. But la can also be just for an observation to make a negation. To make a negation. You are saying this one does not, then I will say هذا لا يصلح. This one is not, it's not good. Okay, it's not good to do this. So I'm saying I'm negating the statement. But when I'm forbidding, then لا تصلح, do not make this good, or do not reform, or do not make something good. That's a command. So that's the difference between it's very easy. The one that is commanding will make the fi'l mudari lightest, but the one that is observant does not affect the fi'l mudari. And with the one that is forbidding, the one that is forbidding affects the fi'l mudari, but the one that is observant does not affect the fi'l mudari. When command does not have a la. So, but it is also in the second person. Both for forbidden and command are in second person. Okay. So let's quickly try let's quickly try doing some exercises. Sharpen your fingers. Okay. Quickly move from your you are onto your no, let's use this. Let's use the same, let's do the same screen. Okay, on your text boxes, look at number, of course, number 1 is done for us. Izhab. You can see izhab. Is it a C, F, or O? They say it's a C. Okay, what is the fi'l mudari? Tazhabu. So this one takes you back to, it says translate, then you translate it when you have identified the CF or O, you translate it, okay? And you can also retrace the commanding or forbidding to the original fi'l, because the original fi'l is fi'l mudari normal, okay? That is tazhabu. So tazhabu. Note, it's not yazhabu, it's not yazhabani, it's not yazhabuna, it's not azhabu, it's not nazhabu. It cannot be. It has to be ta, 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 ta. You remember the ta, 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 ta thing? That is the only place that you can do a command. Those pronouns. Ta, ta, ta. Tazhabu, tazhabani, tazhabuna. Tazhabina, tazhabani, tazhabna. All the ta, ta, ta. So anytime you hear a command, there have to be a ta. Isn't that interesting? That you cannot have a command with fi'l mudari with another any of the aditers except a ta. Okay, good. So let's go to the second one. La yazukuna. So you can see la yazukuna. The moment I see ya, I know this cannot be a command. So this is an observation. So this is an o, and then the fi'l mudari is yazukuna. Yazukuna. So yazukuna is a fi'l mudari that cannot be made or cannot be used for commanding, okay, or forbidding. Okay. Fabashir, fabashir. You see, bashir. You can see the jazm. Fabashir. So the fa is atifa. Bashir is a command. So it's a C. Okay. Bashir is a command. Okay. And it's a C. And the fi'l mudari of that one is normal. You say tubashiru. Tubashiru. Anta tubashiru. Okay. And then wazkur rabbaka. Wazkur rabbaka. Okay. Wazkur rabbaka. The fi'l mudari is, so this one is also a command, a C. The fi'l mudari is tazkuru. Tazkuru. Then I will make it a command by making it what? Lightest. So I will say tazkur, tazkur, and then I will drop that ta, and then it will become what? Zkur, zkur, okay? And then when I take off the ta, it becomes zukur. I need to bring a helper alif. When I bring the helper alif, I can always make it uzkur. I can't make it izkur. It has to be uzkur. So wa uzkur. Actually, here we say wazkur, but if you have to pronounce it without the waw, you will say uzkur. Why uzkur? Because the fi'l mudari normal is tazkuru. Tazkuru. So it's having u. The last but one letter is having u. So the helper alif will also have u. Okay. And then la tuti' is another command. Sorry, is another forbidding. You can see that it is make it lightest. So la tuti', la tuti'. So la is a forbidden, la an-nahiya, tuti' is fi'l mudari' majzoom. Fi'l mudari', you can see the sukun here, and the dua is anta, tuti'. Okay. So this one is another forbidden, F. And the fi'l mudari' is tuti'u, tuti'u. The fi'l mudari' here is tuti'u. There's a ya here. La nudi'u, la nudi'u. You can see that this one is not a forbidden. Okay, I said that there is no command without number 3. Without, what is number 3? Without a ta. Did I say? Yes, there's no command without a ta, in the sense that, okay, I like that one. Very good. So okay, what I was trying to say is that you make all the commands, okay, let me rephrase it. All the commands and the forbiddings, okay, are done on the ta pronouns. Okay, so anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna. So these are the only ones that can be commanded. These pronouns are the only ones that can be commanded. I'm not saying you'll have to have the harf ta. I'm saying that only the pronouns that are in the middle, yes, are in the middle, like anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna. These are the only ones that can be commanded, that can be forbidden also. Okay, so I would say anta la ta'kul. Okay, la ta'kul, do not eat. Antuma la ta'kula, do not eat, both of you. Antum la ta'kulu, do not eat. Anti la ta'kuli, antuma la ta'kula, antunna la ta'kulna. So these are forbidden. But when I command them, command is different from forbidden. In this case, I'm going to bring a helper alif if I cannot pronounce it. In this case, bashir. Bashir is a command. But who am I commanding? I'm commanding anta. So the dua there is what? Anta. It's still the ta. Okay, anta. I hope it's clear with Umm Kulsum. So bashir means you. I'm talking about you, anta. Bashirhum. So you will give them good tidings. Right? So that is the ta that I mentioned there. Maybe I have I said something that brought that confusion. But what I mean is that is the ta level of the pronouns that you can command or you can forbid. But depending on what the expression is, you would know if the pronoun is either anta, antuma, antum, or anti, antuma, antunna. But the most important thing is to remember that don't see a fi'il amr or fi'il amr, nahi, fi'il nahi, and then you will be thinking the fa'il is huwa, or huma, or hum, or here. Or it cannot be. It can also be ana or nahnu. It will only be either anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna. And that's what I mean by the ta level of the pronoun. Okay. So let's go to la tughadir. Sorry, la yughadiru. You see, the moment I see u, I know there is no forbidden, no command. Forbidden and command will always make the fi'l mudari lightest, right? So la yughadiru is normal observation, so it's an u. Okay, the fi'l mudari is tughadiru, anta tughadiru, for instance. Okay, tughadiru. Good. Now, usjudu. Usjudu is a command because you can see that there is no la, so I know it's not a forbidding. It's a command because the noon has been dropped. Okay. Now, how did it all start? It's from tasjuduna, sorry. Tasjuduna. So antum tasjuduna. Antum tasjuduna. What do? I will just make it lightest by saying tasjudu, drop the noon, tasjudu, okay? And then I will go back and say, okay, now I'm going to remove the ta and then say sjudu, sjudu. But I have to bring a helper alif. That helper alif, how do I know if it's going to have a kisra or dhamma? I will go back to the tasjuduna, and then I will see that the jim is having dhamma, and the jim is the last but one letter. So I will say usjudu. It becomes dhamma, usjudu. Okay. This is how generally we are able to detect. And okay, so let me give you the last, maybe do this last two for me. Nadu, nadu, is it a command or a forbidden or an observation? Can you tell me? Nadu, is it an O, C, or F? Nadu. It's a command. Okay. If it some people are looking for my trouble. Okay. Nadu, yes, it's an O, it's like C. Some people are saying it's a C, some people are saying it's an O. You see, the moment you see the dropping of the noon, that means it is in jazm status and it cannot be an O. If it is in rafa status, then it's an observation. But if it is in jazm status, it can either be a forbidden or a command. It can also not be a forbidden because there is no la, so definitely it's a command. So it's plus minus, and then you got your answer. You got your answer. So it's actually a command. Okay. Now do. Okay. Now do. But what is the normal fi'l mudari? What is the normal fi'l mudari? Who can tell me? To call. What is the normal fi'l mudari? Because there's tunaduna. Absolutely correct, Abdul Basit. Very good. Very good. It's tunaduna. And that's why when the ta is dropped, when you remove the ta, it's pronounceable. So you don't need a helper alif. Very good. Good. Tell me the next one. Fala tas'alni. Fala tas'alni. Is there an O here or an F or a C? La tas'alni. Is it an O, F, or C, and why? Is an F forbidden? Very good. How do you know it's a forbidden? How do you know it's a forbidden statement? How do you know it's a forbidden statement, Abdul Basit? Very good. Yes, sukun at the end, not the forbidden, well, the first thing yes, that's also a good one, but the first thing you know about forbidden is the la. You forbid with la. Yes, yes, it has a la. The moment you see the la, you know there's forbidden. And then you add that with the fact that it has made the fi'l mudara jazm. Okay? But what is the fi'l mudara normal there? What is the normal fi'l mudara there for that second person? What is the normal fi'l mudara for that? For that particular word? Tas'alu. Very good. It's tas'alu. Tas'alu. So it's tas'alu. Very good. MashaAllah. Very good, Kulthum. Jazakumullah khair. We'll go for a short break. You can try, keep on trying yourself on the rest, but we'll go for a short break. When we come back, we'll see more of the fi'ils and the fi'il details about the fi'il, jumla fi'liya, and then we will close today discussing fi'ils and its related matters. Okay, stay on. I'll be back in the next 5 minutes. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, thank you for holding on. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We will continue. We'll leave this for the exercises. We can continue doing that, but let's follow with some conjugation issues that will add into our understanding. Okay. Now this one says, what do these words have in common? For instance, their endings are the same. That's for instance, when I say akala, daraba, shariba, zahaba, wada'a. So when I say zahaba, zahaba, zahabu, zahabat, zahabata, zahabna, and so on. What you ask yourself is that, how do I differentiate between zahaba and zahaba, for instance? And then you are able to detect that the ending is having okay? Then, so there is something about it that is common. And so we say that the at the end is one of the things that we can use to detect if the fail is madi. So the is a common factor. So the words have verbs that the action, okay, they have such action-like meaning plus the meaning of who did it. That's the actor. That's what we said. So Nasara, for instance, he helped. So Nasara. So any word that is with this sound, da, akala, zahaba, wada'a, is always he did, okay? There is a hidden huwa in that, okay? Anytime you see jalasa, wada'a, fataha, kharaja, is about huwa kharaja, okay? If you can change the ending to ta, so if you add a ta to it, now the meaning becomes she. So she helped. Instead of leaving it nasara, you have nasara. So that is the she element in the word, okay? If you say nasara with the it becomes both of them. So is the plus so it becomes two. Can't you see that? So if it is huwa is for one, like nasara. When you add one, it becomes which means two of them, okay? So nasara for both of them, okay? And then I hope I'm not frozen. Okay. And then is for all of them. It's for all of them. All of those. So say like for the all like okay? Or group. like it was shared with me. If you are group, you'll be getting the okay? Nasaru, akalu, dhahabu, darasu. It's for all of them. Okay? It means they help. Okay. These are some of the examples that we have been learning. So always remember this chart. This is just one part of it. Mufrad, muthanna, jamu, singular, pair, plural. And then this is masculine, feminine. So huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna. You can see the pronouns. So huwa nasara, huma nasara, hum nasaru, hiya nasarat, huma nasarata, hunna nasarna. And look at the meaning. Huwa, he helped. Huma, both of them helped. Hum, all of them, they helped. Here, she helped. Homa, nasara ta. See the ta. This one is So the ta is the difference here. This one is for feminine. So ta. For masculine, And then hunna nasar na. Don't forget this na. Okay. These are some of the reminders. For the remaining pronouns, that meaning the meaning of second person for anta and antuma, for instance. Okay. And the first person ana and nahnu. For these, how to make the word using the rest of the pronoun is very key. Now note, if the word nasara will end, if the word is nasara, it will end as nasar. So by the second and third level of anta, antuma, antum, and anta, antuma, and ana, nahnu, okay? Anta, antuma, antum, and then ana, nahnu. If the word is ending is it will become sukun. So nasar, so you say nasar ta, nasar tuma, nasar tum, nasar tu, and nasar na. See? So then you take the ending of the pronoun and add it to the end. I think we spoke about this yesterday. Just remove the an and then put the ta. So it becomes nasar ta. So you put the sukun on the ra, and then you put the ta. So you can see anta, nasarta, antuma, nasartuma. So you just take the an away, and then you are left with tuma. You just add the tuma here. Nasar, you remove the an, you put the tum. So nasartum. So anytime you hear nasartum, who is the doer? Antum. How do you know? Well, it is the tum that is put at the end. So it's just an removed. In this case, t, nasar t. So the an is removed, and then the ra is made sukun, and so on. Okay, antuma nasartuma and antunna nasartunna. And then ana, the same thing. Nasar tu. The tu here is for ana, the na is for nahnu. Okay, ana nasar, ana nahnu nasar, and then nasarna. Okay. Now let me give you a clue here. Sometimes we see words and we are not able to detect if it is fi'il or ism. Now let's take one very important thing here. That anytime you see a meme with a dhamma, it cannot be a fi'il, it's an ism. Meme, dhamma, mu. Okay? Anytime you see hamza, dhamma, u. Okay? Hamza, dhamma, u, it must be a fi'il, and that fi'il is mudara. Just put this in your mind. Okay? So sometimes somebody will see a word and it will be confused. Okay, Muslimun and Muslimu, for instance, and Uslimu, or Uzdina, sorry, Uadzinu and Muadzin, and Uallimu and Muallim. Then you realize, how do I know if this is a fail? But for this is an ism, this is a fail, and that fail is mudari. Okay, some of the clues. Okay, conjugation clues here also again. The a and u. You remember the a and u? A and u. That is the beginning. The beginning, which means I. Okay. So uadzinu, uallimu, or a'lamu, or azinu, or aslimu, and so on. That one is for I. So anytime you see u or akulu, azhabu, no, amshi is for I. Okay, so u and am are all for I, while nu and na are all for we. Nu'allimu and nadrusu. Nu'allimu and nadrusu is all for we. Okay, and then ya and you, ya abudu and yadrusu and yu'allimu. Ya abudu and yu'allimu. Ya and you is for he. Ya abudu, ya abudani. Moving on. Ya abudani. Okay, so we asked here, where have you seen this ending, this ya abudani? Do you remember the Muslim chart? But in the Muslim chart, you have Muslimun, Muslimani. You remember the ani. But this one is not known as heavy. Please note that. Okay, in the Muslimani, you have ani and una. You remember that? But in fail also, you have the ani and una. But those ones are for normal fi'il madara. Normal. Okay, you don't see heavy. Okay. Ya and you, beginning, you add ani to the end, so it becomes both of them. So ya and ani. So abada, ya abudani. So the ani and ya are signs of mudara. Ya and ani are signs of mudara. Another one here says ya and you, ya abuduna, una. So ya and una, they make the present tense for third person plural masculine. Ya budna. Now look at this, ya and you plus na. You remember this na, na. No, it's not applicable. This one is for feminine plural. Okay, feminine plural, ya and then na. Ya abudna. Ya'budna, there is a difference between ya'buduna for masculine plural and ya'budna for feminine plural. So this is sukun na, this very important, na is very important for the feminine plural. And then the ta for you. You remember your ta, that's what we just spoke about. I hope Kulsum is listening here. The ta is always for you. And luckily for us in English, it's all you. Anta is you. Antuma, masculine is you. Antum, masculine plural is still you in English. Anti is also you. Antuma, feminine pair is you. And antunna, feminine plural is also you. So it depends on the context in English for you to know which pronoun is being referred to. And then here in Arabic, you have ta'budu and ta'budani and ta'buduna and ta'budina and ta'budani and ta'budna. So it's all ta 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 in the second person. Okay. So these are the ta 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 tas. Okay. Ta beginning you, ta'budu, so you worship. Ta and ani, ta'budani, like ta'budani for both of you. Ta and ta and una, ta'buduna, all of you. And ta and na, ta'budna for all of you, feminine. So ta could also mean she, okay? Here ta'budu, okay? Here tadrusu. You would need context to figure out if it is referring to she or if it is referring to you, okay? Ta and also ina, like ta'kulina for feminine. So it's about ta. Second person is about ta. Then here finally we say an, lan, li, and hatta and izan. These are the harps of what? Fil mudari. All these, they make the fil mudari appears light. Adawat nasbul fil mudari. Okay? They make the fil mudari light. It makes it fatha. Example, yadrusu becomes yadrusa. An yadrusa. Okay? Lan yadrusa. Likay yadrusa. Hatta yadrusa. So these an, lan, likay, and hatta are the ones that make it fatha or make it light, as we say. And then the word yu'minuna and an yu'minu, the moment I put the an on it, it becomes yu'minu. So then the noon drops. So it's either the noon drops or the fi'il, if it's having no noon at the end, will take fatha. Remember that the hunna and antunna form do not change. You don't touch them. That's what we said, right? You don't touch those feminine plurals, correct? Okay. And then we'll look at the jazm, the lightest. These are the signs for the lightest. In lam lamma wal falli. In lam lamma wal falli. Allan izan kay hatta. Okay. Here the harfs make the fi'l mudari lightest. They put them in the lightest form. So you say yansuru and you say in yansur or lam yansur. Okay. So these letters need to be put into mind. These two. This one makes fi'l mudari light. This one makes fi'l mudari lightest. Okay, so these are the examples. Yansuru, yansura. So this is normal fi'l mudari. Yansura is fi'l mudari light. Yansur fi'l mudari lightest. Yansurani normal fi'l mudari. Yansura light or lightest. Why is it light or lightest? But this one, there is difference between the light and lightest. In this case, the last letter is not noon, so it doesn't. You just make it fatha or sukun. But in this case, you drop the noon. If you drop the noon, it can either be light or lightest, right? That's what it means. Yansuruna, yansuru. Then ansuru is normal. Ansura is light. Ansur is lightest. Okay. Remember also hunna yansurna and antunna tansurna. This one, the noon doesn't drop. Their light and lightest form looks like the normal. Okay. Remember, past tense do not have light or lightest, only present. Okay. Only the present tense do. Final thing we are going to learn today is what is known as inside and outside dua. We have already spoken about this actually. We're just going to brush on it, okay? When I say every fi'l has a dua, we say, how do you say that the teacher helped in English? In Arabic, for instance, the teacher helped, okay? The teacher helped. Now, this is not a pronoun in this case, so what do? The teacher is mentioned, okay? So to understand this, we need to know that in Arabic, the dua of a fi'l can either be inside or outside. An example of an inside dua is fi'l madi. So when we say darasa, okay, darasa, he helped. So the dua is inside, okay, okay. In that case, the dua is not outside. So there were pronouns in front of each of them to show that the pronoun, the ones that we learned, the pronoun that is actually within the fi'l. So we say huwa darasa, huma darasa, hum darasu, or huwa nasara, huma nasara, hum nasaru. Okay. But if you want to say the teacher helped, which conjugation do you use since each fi'l has an inside pronoun? What we say here is that only the huwa and here form can be used with an outside dua. So if I say nasara al-ustadhu, it means the teacher helped. In this case, there is a huwa inside here. but that huwa is going to be downplayed. So you don't say the dua is huwa, but you say the dua is ustadu. Now, how do I determine that? It's a very simple thing. Anytime you see a sentence or an ayah, just look into the sentence from the beginning to the end. If you see any ism in rafa status, then that is the fa'il. So here you say it's fi'l madi, and this one is the fa'il. You don't say fi'l madi and the dua is huwa. No. You need to go forward and see if there is no any ism in rafa status, then you say the dua is huwa. Okay? And it can only be huwa or here. This kind of form. You can't, anytime you see any pronoun in the fi'l, then the dua is inside, except if it is huwa or here, then the dua can be outside. The dua can be outside, okay? Only in these two formats. Very important information here. So this is what we say. What is the, so here we say, what is the status of ustazu? It's in rafa status. That means it is the dua. So when you have an outside dua, it takes the place of the inside dua. So it is not he, the teacher, helped. No, he said it's simply the teacher helped. Okay? Outside duas need to meet two conditions. It has to be after the fi'l, number one, and does not have to be just after it. It can be somewhere in the sentence, and it has to be in rafa status. These are the two conditions for an outside dua. Remember that the only time you will look for an outside dua is when the fi'l is in huwa or here form. Very important. So nasara al-muslimani. So nasara, you see muslimani, there are two of them, but you use the word nasara because, you know, the gender here is masculine. Okay, so is this an outside or inside dua? This is an outside dua because ani is in rafa status. Okay, ani is in rafa status. Since it's matched both conditions, number one, it came after the fi'l, and then number two is in rafa status, so it becomes the dua. Okay. Pronouns attached to fi'l. This also another place that you will, I mean, you can go and learn this on your, I'm sure you already have gone through it. When you say nasara ka, so nasara is huwa, ka is the maf'ul, so the huwa here is the dua. Okay. So what is this ka? The ka becomes maf'ul bihi. Okay. In this case, so ka is from the attached pronouns. When you find an attached pronoun on a fi'l, ignore the pronoun and translate the fi'l. We have done this before. So nasara, which means help. Now add the kaf, which is you. So it becomes nasara ka. Okay. Qatala hum. So you remember, you detach the qatala from the hum. You translate both of them and put both of them together for you to be able to know the translation. Okay. Just a quick one. Pronoun status review. Again, rafa pronouns, independent pronouns, and pronouns inside the fi'l. We say that all rafa pronouns, all pronouns that are independent are in rafa status. So huwa is rafa, huma is rafa. Anytime you see them standing alone, they are in rafa status. Okay. And they can be also in nasb status, okay, when attached to a harf of nasb. When you say, for instance, innahu, innahu is in nasb status because of the inna. Okay. And also when attached to a fi'l, like darabahu, okay, is also in nasb status. And then jar, in jar status, when it's attached to harf of jar. Fihi, jar wa majrur, fihi, jar wa majrur, for instance, when attached to an ism that they are, okay, so when attached to an ism, they are in jar because they are mudaf. So when you say kitabuka, for instance, this ka is attached to an ism, so it becomes mudaf ilay. You remember when we said all attached pronoun to an ism is mudaf ilay, but all attached pronoun to a fi'l is maf'ul, right? And then finally, you go and read this on your own. I'm sure you get it in your book. There are 5 types of maf'ul. Maf'ul bihi, maf'ul fihi, maf'ul lahu, and maf'ul hal, and maf'ul mutlaq. Okay? These ones, I'm not going to go through them because even though we will get to see their details later, but go and learn that we have learned jumla fi'liya, and we know that the nasb status is any ism that is after the doer, or that explain the action fell on them. Okay, and there are 5 of them. Either maf'ul bihi, that answers the question of who or what, or maf'ul fihi, that answers the question of when or where, and or maf'ul lahu, that answers the question of why, or maf'ul hal, that answers the question of how, and then maf'ul mutlaq, that answers the question of how badly. Okay, this one is very interesting, this maf'ul mutlaq, because anytime you detect it, it's very easy because it is pulled from the fi'l. So when I say darabtuhu darban, or akaltu ta'ama aklan, okay, so the word aklan is from akala. So akaltu, I ate the food, a kind of eating or something like that. Then you say it is maf'ul. But the most important thing is that maf'ul is always in nasb status, and all these 5, you will always find them in nasb status. Okay, so these are the examples of how to do that. You know, and so we will stop here with the victims or the maf'uls, and inshallah tomorrow we will look into some of the details. Now, for your information, even as we speak today, basically the whole course has been done. All we are doing is going back and polishing them with more information. But actually we have done we have gone through all the levels of the language structure. The level of the word is finished, ism fi'l harf. The language of the level of the fragment is also done with idafa, jar wa majroor, inna, and the sisters and their ism or their victim, and then ism al-ishara and mushar ilayhi and mawsuf sifa. We are done with them, and then we have done with jumla ismiya, which comprises of mubtada khabar, and we're also done with jumla fi'liya, which comprises of fi'il, fa'il, maf'ul, and we have discussed also kinds of fi'ils, madi, mudari'u, and amr. Okay, and inshallah from tomorrow we will be having more of the details of these and some of the very, very important clues or markers for us to be able to identify kinds of words or kinds of letters that affect the interpretation of verses from the Quran or any Arabic statement. Okay, so we will stop here, inshallah. Tomorrow we'll continue. Jazakumullah anna kulla khair. Thank you, and sorry for taking more of your time. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wa la asr innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa amilus salihati wa tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bis sabr. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahus samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Qul a'udhu bi rabbil falaq, min sharri ma khalaq, min sharri ghasiqin idha waqa, min sharri nafathati fil 'uqad, min sharri hasidin idha hasad, ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. I hope this confusion has been unraveled from Asma. I didn't understand the question, but I hope it has been cleared, right? Asma, I hope you don't have the confusion anymore. Okay, so we'll meet tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Okay.